माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरवरधारी, यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन, यमुना तीर वनचारी, यमुना तीर वनचारी, जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरवरधारी, यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन, यमुना तीर वनचारी, यमुना तीर वनचारी, जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये, नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवती सेवया, भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी, मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं, यत्कृपातमां वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं, परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 32, Shloka number 22. Yes. I'll share the screen. तस्मात् त्वं सर्वभावेन भजस्व परमेष्ठिनं, तद्गुणाश्रयया भक्तया भजनीय पदाम्बुजम्। तस्मात् त्वं सर्वभावेन भजस्व परमेष्ठिनं, तद्गुणाश्रयया भक्तया भजनीय पदाम्बुजम्। तस्मात् त्वं सर्वभावेन भजस्व परमेष्ठिना, तद्गुणाश्रयया भक्तया भजनीय पदाम्बुजम्। Synonyms. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms. Tasmat, therefore, Tvam, you, Devahuti, Sarva Bhavena, with loving ecstasy, Bhajasva, worship, Parmeshtinam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Tat Guna, the qualities of the Lord, Ashraya, connected with Bhaktaya, by devotional service, Bhajaniya, worshipable, Padambujam, whose lotus feet. Translation. My dear mother, I therefore advise you that you take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for his lotus feet are worth worshipping. Accept this with all devotion and love, for thus you can be situated in transcendental devotional service. Purport. The word Parmeshtinam is sometimes used in connection with Brahma. Parmeshti means the Supreme Person. As Brahma is the Supreme Person within this universe, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the spiritual world. Lord Kapil Dev advises his mother that she should take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, because it is worthwhile. Taking shelters of demigods, even those in the highest positions like Brahma and Shiva, is not advised herein. One should take shelter of the Supreme Godhead. Sarva Bhaven. Sarva Bhaven means in all loving ecstasy. Bhava is the preliminary stage of elevation before the attainment of pure love of Godhead. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. One who has attained the stage of Bhava, one can accept the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna as worshipable. This is also advised here by Lord Kapila to his mother. Also significant in this verse is the phrase Tat Gunashaya Bhaktaya. This means that discharging devotional service unto Krishna is transcendental. It is not material activity. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Those who engage in devotional service are accepted to be situated in the spiritual kingdom. Brahma Bhuya Yakalpate. They at once become situated in the transcendental kingdom. Devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the only means for attaining the highest perfection of life for the human being. This is recommended herein by Lord Kapila to his mother. Bhakti is therefore nirguna, free from all the tinges of material qualities. Although the discharge of devotional service appears to be like material activities, it is never saguna or contaminated by material qualities. Tad guna shraya means that Lord Krishna's transcendental qualities are so sublime that there is no need to divert one's attention to any other activities. His behavior with the devotees is so exalted that a devotee need not try to divert his attention to any other worship. It is said that the demoniac Putana came to kill Krishna by poisoning him, but because Krishna was pleased to suck her breast, she was given the same position as his mother. Devotees therefore pray that if a demon who wanted to kill Krishna gets such an exalted position, why should they go to anyone other than Krishna for their worshipful attachment? There are two kinds of religious activities, one for material advancement and the other for spiritual advancement. By taking shelter unto the lotus feet of Krishna, one is endowed with both kinds of prosperity, material and spiritual. Why then should one go to any other God? Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjan Shalakya Chachurmaltamin Tashmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Guruna Vaishnavancam Cha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Saganatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagalata Shri Vishakhanutam Shri Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Picharane Nirvish Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Vedayate Krishna Krishna Namine Gaur Krishnama E Krishna Karna Sindhu Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarvashma Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Srivas Angan Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Hare Krishna. So, what has happened till this time in this chapter? Just to do a recap. So, the chapter name is Engagement in Fruitive Activities. So, Kapil Dev, Lord Kapil Dev is explaining to his mother about a person who is entangled in fruitive activities. When we say entanglement in fruitive activities, what do we mean by that? That a person who is performing what? Sakam karma or even Nishkam karma. So in first 4 verses, he explains about Sakam karmis, that what happens with them. Then in the next 4 verses, 5, 6, 7, 3 verses rather, he tells about detached workers who performs swadharma with detachment, means Nishkam karmis. In Shloka 8 to 15, talks about the persons who then performs what? Worship to Brahma, or you can say Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha, there's one more meaning, which is called golden egg. Why it is called golden egg? Any idea? Hiranya is gold and Garbha is egg, golden egg. Right. So basically, this material world, right, where we are all, is like a egg. The shape of this material world is like a egg. And our entanglement in this material world is because of whom? Because of our activities. But who is the creator? Here, Brahma. So that's why there are people who are praying Brahma. But a person who is there are 2 things. Either he remains here or he gradually develops himself to move into a higher realm. Right? So, but what happens? Kapil Dev tells that liberation is not possible without bhakti. In Shloka 16 to 21, Lord criticizes these Sakam karmis. Till yesterday we have seen that how Lord Kapila was criticizing the Sakam karmis. And he was saying that to which loka they go to Pitra Loka and they return back. Their age is too, the length of the age is too much and all those things. After doing so, ultimately, what is happening? Lord Kapil Dev is in the middle of the chapter itself, giving the conclusion. So this is the conclusive shloka, which is telling about the importance of devotional service. So what is he saying here to his mother? Tasmatvam sarva bhavin bhajasva parameshtinam tadgunashaya bhaktaya ajaniya padam bhujam. So he is advising his mother to forget about what Sakam karmis do, what Niskam karmis do, what the worshippers of different demigods do. Rather, what he is saying, I therefore advise you that you take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for his lotus feet are worth worshipping. Accept this with all devotion and love. For thus you can be situated in transcendental devotional service. So that is what he is emphasizing here. He's saying that with full attention, one should engage himself in the worship of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Popat, Prabhupada is mentioning the very last sentence. There are two kinds of religious activities, one for material advancement, another for spiritual advancement. By taking shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna, one is endowed with both kinds of prosperity, material and spiritual. Then why should one go to any demigod? So in this shloka, very clearly we see that Lord Kapila is establishing the worship of Lord Krishna. He's telling that what should be the objective of our life, the goal of our life. And he's talking about Sarva Bhavena, reaching to a stage of Bhava. Bhava, and then the last stage is Prema. So out of this 9 devotional processes, what is there? Anyone remembers these 9 steps? Anyone can say what are these 9 steps? Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti. So this part comes under Vaidhi Bhakti. And then comes Raganuga Bhakti, which is called Bhava and Prem. So Bhava is the first stage where you are completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So that is a stage where this shloka is taking us. Bhava is the preliminary stage of elevation before the attainment of pure love of Godhead. So Prabhupada is emphasizing here and telling the importance. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita also. Those who engage in devotional service are accepted to be situated in the spiritual kingdom. So this shloka is the turning point of the entire Sankhya Yoga. Though at different places we have seen that Lord Kapila has been emphasizing about the bhaktis and the bhaktas, right? Bhakti and bhakta. And even in every shloka, we all know that Prabhupada always puts Bhakti, Lord Krishna, devotional service. He, in every shloka, wherever Prabhupada is writing, he just always mentions that. But in this very shloka, this the 22nd, rather from 22nd to 26th verse, the 5 verses are focusing on the devotional service, the Bhakti, transcendental devotional service only. And this is the conclusion of Lord Kapila. Though later on, he will tell on Jnana, he will tell on various other paths, how to ultimately realize Bhagwan and all. But these 5 shlokas, 22 to 26, are emphasizing on the path of bhakti, performing devotional service, transcendental devotional service. And the question comes that how to perform this devotional service? What should we do? What should we do? So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 13th chapter, 15th shloka, this tells that what is of immense importance. It says, Sarvedanta saram hi Shri Bhagavatam nishyate tadrasamrit traptasya nanyatra syad rati kvachit. So this shloka is saying Sarva Vedanta. Sarva means all. Vedanta means all the Vedanta philosophies. Saram, the sar, the essence of all the Vedanta philosophy is what Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate. So Sri Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is what? It is the essence of all the Vedanta philosophy. And what One who has felt satisfaction from its nectarian mellow will never be attracted to any other literature. So this is the essence of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And in this very shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, which we are referring today, the importance of devotional service is. Now, the devotional service has various components. One is praying to Lord Krishna. Praying Sukadeva Goswami, who has spoken Srimad Bhagavatam. Praying to Goddess Saraswati for the language in which this Srimad Bhagavatam is coming to us. And above all, the compiler or the person who has presented it for all of us, Vyasdev. So, whom to pray? Whom to bow first? Is it Narayana? Is it Sukadeva? Is it Saraswati? Or is it Vyasdev? So it is said that we have to bow down to everyone in one instant only. Not one and leaving others. Sarva Vedanta Sarami. This Srimad Bhagavatam is telling this, that performing devotional service, thinking this, that this is the essence of bhakti, is the biggest means of the devotional service which we can perform. This is very, very difficult to obtain. We should be honoring the rarest form of human life which we have attained. After so many births, in different yonis, in different, we had been taking births in thousands and thousands of different yonis, different places, different universes. And by mercy of Lord Krishna, we have now achieved this rarest human form of life, which only has the capability to make us perform this devotional service. So one should not waste this rare human form of life. One more shloka, which is from Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about this rarest form of human life, that what should be the objective of this human life. 11.9.29 Labdavasu durlabham idam bahusambhavante manusham arthadam nityam apiha dhiraha turnam yatetna patet anumrityo yava nishreyasaya vishaya khalu sarvatah sya. The translation says, after many, many births and deaths, one achieved the rare human form of life. So what Kapil Dev is telling to his mother, that mother, my dear mother, I therefore advise you take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why is he saying so? Because he wants to emphasize that it is only in this rare human form of life which, although is temporary, affords one the opportunity to attain the highest perfection. Because through this human life only one can reach or one can praise Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died. After all, sense gratification is available even in the most abominable species of life, whereas Krishna consciousness is possible only for a human being. Such an importance has been told in Srimad Bhagavatam about attaining a human life. After attaining a human life, what one should do? That is what Lord Kapila is telling to his mother. And in this shloka, it is very, very clearly being said that after all, after many, many years, sense gratification, doing sense gratification, which we have been doing in various yonis of life which we have passed through. But this is the only form of life, which is the human form, wherein we can achieve the ultimate goal of attaining the highest perfection. I therefore advise you take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, for his lotus feet are worth worshipping. Accept this with all devotion and love, and for thus you can be situated in transcendental devotional service. This is how the importance of this human form of life is being told. Even Prahlad Maharaj says, Durlabham Manusam Janma. Durlabham Manusham Janma Tad Api Adruvam Arthadam. What is Arth? What is Anarth? What is Anarth? Which has no value, right? Anarth, which is meaningless, which is of no value. So what is this here? Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Durlabham Manusam Janma Tada Api Adruvam Arthadam. This human birth is full of meaning. Arthadam, it is of full importance. Though it is Adruvam. Dhruv is what? Atal. Dhruv is permanent. He's saying Adruvam, which is impermanent or temporary. So he's saying that Kumara Charita Pragyo Dharman Bhagavatan Durlabham Manusam Janma Tad Api Adruvam Ardhadam. Prahlad Maharaj said, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood, to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements. So Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire Srimad Bhagavatam is focusing on Bhakti and Bhaktas. In Bhagavad Gita, we see that Lord Krishna is telling about the identity of a self to Arjuna first. And then he moves on to Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and then to Bhakti Yoga. And then 6 chapters, which is 7 to 12, are spoken on Bhakti Yoga, performing devotional service. It tells about the importance of devotional service. Srimad Bhagavatam is completely talking of devotional services itself through various pastimes of devotees and the Supreme Personality of Godhead in different avatars and different yogas. So, what should we do? The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. This is the only life where one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. So this should be the objective of our life. Prabhupada in one of his examples quote that this body is like a ship. This human body is like a ship. The spiritual master is like the sailor of that ship. And what this Srimad Bhagavatam is, this is a favorable wind, which is assisting the ship to flow through that ocean. flowing through this oceans of nescience by the help of a spiritual master should be the essence of any human life. So that is why this human life is very, very important, and we should not waste even a single second of our life in thinking and doing anything else beside performing devotional service. So this shloka is turning the entire essence of Sankhya Yoga, where Lord Kapila is taking everybody or through his teachings to his mother to perform nothing but devotional service. So this is what is very, very important, and we should always perform any activity for the pleasures of Lordship, not for our sense gratification, which we have been performing through various ages or various lives which we have gone through. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramanand Rai that what is the biggest intelligence or what is the most important thing. And Ramanand Rai says that performing bhakti of Lord Krishna is the most important. He says that Krishna Bhakta hai bada chatur. Jai bhaje Krishna te bada chatur. One who is performing devotional service or reciting the names, fames and glories of Lord Krishna is the most intelligent or the most a person who understands the real essence of life. That is why it is said that it is of immense importance to understand this human form of life. And that's what even in Bhagavad Gita, where many, many shlokas are talking about bhakti and bhaktas. You know, Lord Krishna himself is telling the essence of bhakti. When it comes to bhakti yoga, though he starts from 6.47, the last shloka, where itself Lord says, Yoginam api sarvesam madgadinantaram pasteyo mam sameta yuktamo mata. That shloka itself, Lord Krishna indicates the importance of performing devotional service. But not only this, we can see many, many shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, and where Lord just stresses upon what one has to perform, what one has to do. In Bhagavad Gita 9.22, it says, Ananya sachintyanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Prabhupada is saying in this shloka at the last writing, right, that by taking shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna, one is endowed with both kinds of prosperity, material and spiritual. Bhagavad Gita, this shloka is saying the same thing. But this is possible for whom? Ananyas chintayanto mam, one who is continuously performing devotion. Those who always worship me, ananyas, he has no other thing to perform. But what? Chintayanto mam, he is always concentrating on me. Ye jana paryupasate, one who is always worshipping me. What Lord does? Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. What does Lord does? He takes his responsibility. He says that I provide everything what is required for you. So that is the type of responsibility which Lord is taking for a person who is performing exclusive devotion, who is continuously chanting, who is continuously worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not only one. 9.26. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktaya prakshati. What he is saying? Yome bhaktaya prakshati. One who is giving me these things, right? Offering me patram pushpam phalam toyam. With what? With devotion. Emphasizing the word bhaktaya prakshati. If you are offering with a devotion, what does Lord does? Tadham bhakti. Tadham bhakti uparatam asnami pratatmanaha. Lord accepts it. But when he accepts it? When somebody is performing it with devotion. So he's emphasizing at two places. Yome bhaktaya prakshati. Tadadam bhaktaya uparatam. If you are offering with devotion, then what I am doing? I am accepting that which you are offering with devotion. In 9.34 it says, Manmana bhagavato madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktavaya atmanam matparayana. Always take something on me. Meditate on me. Your mind should not be anywhere else. He is emphasizing on it. Manmana bhagavato madhyaji mam namaskuru. He is asking to perform 4 activities. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. 4 things. Always think of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. And he is assuring that if you are going to do that with full absorption, what is going to happen? You are going to come back to me. I will take you. So that is the assurance which we are getting. And this assurance one can get only in this human form of life. So that's why it is very, very important to understand the essence of life. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajitam priti purvakam. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajitam priti purvakam. One who is always satatam, always. Yuktanam, always engaged in doing what? Bhajitam priti purvakam. In performing devotional service, in worshipping me with love. Prabhupada mentions here in this shloka, with bhava, this sarva bhavena. How you have to pray, how you have to perform this activity? With all love and devotion. And that is what Bhagavad Gita also says, that those who are constantly devoted to serving me with what? Priti purvakam, with love. What does Lord does? Dadami buddhi yogam tam hina mamupayanti te. What is Lord giving? Lord is giving him the intelligence so that he can come back to him. So Lord just wants us to perform the devotional service. If we are performing this devotional service with love, Lord is saying, Bhaktaya ananaya, bhakto ananya, shakya ahamevam vidho arjuna, yatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjun, only by undivided devotional service. This is shloka number 1154, 11th chapter also. What is Lord saying? By undivided devotional service. One can understand God only by undivided devotional service. So you can see Lord by performing this type of bhakti. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult to understand the real essence of life. Prabhupada in this shloka mentions, right? He says that this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Those who engage in devotional service are accepted to be situated in a spiritual kingdom. From where is he giving this reference? 14.26. Mam cha yo abhivicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunana samtitetan brahma bhujaya kalpate. Mam cha, one who is performing devotional service. Yo avyabhicharena, matlab without fail. Bhakti yogen, again bhakti, by devotional service. One who is serving without fail. What is happening? What Lord says? That one transcends the material modes of nature. It is very, very difficult. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, it talks that, I'm missing that shloka, that it is very difficult to cross this material world because of the influence of the three material modes of nature. And he says that it works under his control. But here is it saying that if you are serving me, if you're performing devotional service without fail, what will happen? You will be able to pass that, surpass that, transcend that material modes of nature. And what will happen? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. You will come to which platform? Brahman platform. So everywhere we are saying that it is being said that only by performing bhakti, what will happen? We will be able to focus on the objective of life. In 18th chapter also, Bhaktaya mama vijanati yavane chasmati tattvataha tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. Bhaktaya mama vijanati. One can understand me. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead only by Bhaktaya, by performing devotional service. So there is a big importance which has been given of performing this devotional service, and that can only be performed in this human form of life. We can quote many such shlokas, many examples from be it Bhagavad Gita, be it Bhagavatam. Sarvadharman pratyaj mamekam sharanam vraj. Aham tvam sarvapapibhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Just surrender unto me. Forget about anything else, and I will deliver you. So Lord is assuring us at each and every step. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Lord is telling Uddhava, when he is asked, which section we call Uddhava Gita. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 14th chapter, 20th shloka, it says, Na sadhyati mam yogo na sankyam dharma uddhava na swadhyaya tapastyago yatha bhaktir mam orjitaha. Na sadhyati. One cannot bring me under control. One cannot understand about me. By what? By any yoga system. Ma yogo, na sankhya, neither by Sankhya philosophy, neither following different pious activities of dharma. Na swadhyaya, not even by reading. If you think that by knowledge, by reading various scriptures, not even by performing tapa, not even by performing tyaga. So any type of austerity, any type of renunciation, it's very difficult. You cannot understand me. The only way by which you can understand me is what? Yatha bhaktir mam orjitaha. By performing the devotional service. It is only by strongly performing the devotional service unto me you can understand me. So, wherever we talk about, it is just the importance of performing devotional service. And there are many examples which we can quote from Shastras, even practical life examples. I think you must have heard who all are from South India. I think they know about Pundanam. Pundanam, you have heard of? Tulsi Mataji, have you heard of Pundanam?
Hare Krishna, sorry Prabhuji, I was late. I couldn't unmute that. I know Pundanam, very great devotee. So many stories are there.
Exactly. Yeah. Pundanam was a very great reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam, yes, Prabhuji.
And there is a temple in Kotiur, which is a very famous Shiva temple. It opens only for 10 days. And the pujaris and all invited Pundanam to recite Srimad Bhagavatam during those 10 days, so that whatever devotees are coming, they also hear Srimad Bhagavatam and have darshan of Lord Shiva. And during that time, Pundanam was reading the section wherein Rukmani has written a letter to Lord Krishna, where she has requested Lord Krishna to come and kidnap her. The letter which was sent by a Brahmana. So, and that in that 10 days, what happens when Pundanam came and he was reading that Srimad Bhagavatam, he started that chapter and he ended it. And in books, what happens? Like in Bhagavad Gita, we have this. You have this thread, right? By which you mark the page. So it is like you have marked this and you have closed it. Now the next day you will come and you will open that and you will start from there. Because Pundanam is reciting, any such big devotees are always reciting various scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, such great scriptures. So they don't remember that where they ended. So they just open from where they have closed. But to a surprise, what happened that he is close to that chapter, but next day again, when he opened, that chapter restarted. That thread somehow, that marking thread came to the starting of that chapter. He didn't remember. He again recited that. The devotees who had listened for the first day thought, okay, might be he wanted to recite something more, so he again started that. Third day also the same thing happened. Fourth day also the same thing happened. All 10 days, this thread was automatically coming to it, and Pundanam couldn't recognize that because he was a pure devotee. He was just engrossed in just reciting whatever is coming. He never thought that this is something strange happening. But the devotees were thinking, what is this? They couldn't, but they were just thinking that it is because he is such a great reciter, might be he is telling something new. So ultimately what happened that the 10th day came, and after 10th day also he recited, he closed it, and he just moved out. Once he moved out, the doors of the temple were closed. When the doors were closed and he was just going out, he remembered, oh, I missed my Srimad Bhagavatam, because for 10 days he has just kept his Bhagavatam there inside, because now he knew that my temple will open the next year, right? And he has left his Bhagavatam inside the temple. He went back in order to get his Bhagavatam. And he saw that door is closed, but then he heard some sound coming from inside. And then he peeped through when you put the lock, there's a hole inside from which you can see. So he could see from that hole, and he saw that Lord Shiva was reciting the same chapter, the same pastime to Ma Parvati. And after hearing everything, Ma Parvati said that all glories to you, everything is all right, But the way Pundanam recited was far, far much ecstatic than how you have recited. So that is the glory of a devotee who is reciting Bhagavatam, or who is reciting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Lord. So Lord is so merciful. And so basically, Pundanam went into ecstasy and all those things happened. So basically, it is glorifying. The Lord always glorifies his devotee who is deeply absorbed in devotion, performing devotional service. Not only one example, there are many. I can just recite one more example. This is of, again, South India. Rang, or let me recite some another. So you all know Kumbakodam, right? Kumbakodam is a very famous place in Tamil Nadu.
Yes,
I think it has, every house has a temple. I have seen that. Almost every house in that city is having temple. There are 5,000 temples in Kumbakodam. A small city, very small city, but it's a very pious city.
Radhesham Prabhuji is from Kumbakonam. Radhesham Prabhuji. Radhesham Prabhuji.
Very good, very good. So
his native is Kumbakonam. He studied there only. His childhood, everything is in Kumbakonam.
Very good. So Kumbakonam, there is a Padmanabhan, and there only Brahmins are allowed. No Kshatriya, no Vaishya.
Prabhuji, like we are not able to hear little bit of some voice.
Is it clear now?
Now okay, Prabhuji, now.
I think it might be because of it. So in that temple, nobody was allowed to have darshan of the deities. It was only Brahmanas who can go inside. Nobody else, right? So once a person who was a devotee of Lord, but he was not a Brahman, came and he was having an intense desire of having darshan of the Lord. But he was not allowed, and he humbly just went out. So these pujaris who were there, they went inside, and when they were just about to open, when they opened this curtain, they saw a very strange thing happening there. Padmanabhan, Lord Padmanabhan is lying, right? And that on Ananta Shesh. But what happened that the deity got up, like if it is lying like this, it got up like that, right? And they saw that this deity is rotating like this. It is moving like this. Just continuously it is rotating in 360 degree. And they were just surprised. What is this? What is this happening? They were not able to understand. Then a senior pujari who was there meditated, and in his meditation he saw that Lord is just following that devotee of his who was outside circumambulating this temple. So the direction he was moving, the Lord was moving in that direction. So Lord didn't want it to go out of sight. He just wanted to see that devotee. Devotee was not able to see him. Devotee was just circumambulating that temple. But this Lord was just rotating as this person was circumambulating this temple. So that is what Lord is. So it's a very, the importance of devotees and the devotional service performed by his devotees is so dear that Lord offers himself completely. So that is the essence of performing devotion. So that is why it is said that one shall not waste this human life, and one should always perform, one should always engage in devotional service, one should associate with devotees and hear the pastimes of the Lord, perform whatever way he can perform. Even chanting is the biggest. It is said that chanting is the biggest service which one can do. So we think that what devotional service we can perform, what seva we can do. Many times people say that they are away from temple, or they are not around, or they don't find devotees. So the biggest service which we can perform is just chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. If we are chanting offensively, that is the biggest service which we can perform. And by just performing this devotional service, what can happen? We all know that Lord is going to pull us from this science world. We can go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. I'll just stop here. If somebody has any query, we can just discuss. Any doubt, any questions, we can take.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you were speaking about that temple, no? Kumbakonam, Batmanabhan temple, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Batmanabhan, okay. Okay, then one verse you were speaking of, Prabhuji, I heard that number, I don't know, that Lord can only understood by devotion, not by the jnanis, the readings and all that, no?
Yes, Mataji. Yes. The shloka number you want, right?
Yes,
let me see this. So it is 11.14.20.
Lord, 11.14.20, Prabhuji.
Yes. Even if you see the shloka 7.9.9, which is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj, also says that.
Okay.
It says that one may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service.
Okay.
Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him.
Okay.
So that is quoted by Prahlad Maharaj in Shloka 7.9.9. In Uddhav Gita, Lord tells Uddhava about this. Na sadhyati mama yogo, na sankyam dharma Uddhava, na swadhyayas tapastyago yada bhaktir mamorjitaha.
What is the number, Prabhuji?
11.14.20. This is Uddhav Gita.
Uddhav Gita, okay.
11.14.20.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any questions, any doubts from anyone? We can take the questions, otherwise stop it. So I'd like to end the session.
Thank you so much for the class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Madhuri.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, any query from your side?
No. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Vancha kalpa tarabhishya kripa sindhubhya vicha patana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo
Namo Namaha.
Ankuri Vaishnavanda ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Shila Guru
Ki
Maharaj ki
jai.
jai.
Ki jai.
Gauranga Nityananda. Gauranga Nityananda. Gauranga Nityananda.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Jai Jai Radhe Sham. Sabko mile Vrindavan Dham. So we are missing Sukha Prabhu. Today, actually, he called me up because of his internet issue. He was having problem. So I think it got corrected also today. He will be attending from tomorrow. So, thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Just closing the session.